and waiting for persons to come and see what they have to say and views, and just look at how things are. What are their views in terms of that and how they feel?
Okay, that sounds good. My question for you is, what would be the first thing you would do if you were able to get this seat? What would be the first thing you do?
The first thing that I would do if I was able to get to the seat, I would honestly, first thing that I would do is speak to my people and tell them thanks, first of all, for the opportunity to represent them for Naughty Lucha as a PLP. Then I would also get down to work, get a community of persons together. Let's look at the pros and the cons of what's necessary to see what can be done, what's feasible, and then begin to see how we can begin to shape things into a better Naughty Lucha. So, as I said, you give thanks because you got to be grateful for the simple things that God gives you the opportunity, but then it's time to get to work. Look at the constituents, find out the problems, look what can be done, assess, prioritize, and make it happen.
Do you think North Lucha is a location that has a lot of work to be done, or just a little extra push and we'll be exactly where we need to be?
Just a little extra push, and we'll be exactly where we need to be. I must give credit to the Member of Parliament for Naughty Lucha. He has done what he can done in the season and time, and nobody can take that space from him. He has done it. So it's just building up on that legacy.
So let's speak about the last candidate that was there. Okay. I know from watching certain clips, social media, all of that stuff. After it doesn't seem as though the community was too happy with it. And to be honest with you, I don't think I can remember any real occasion. No, Glenna Santa Martin, I feel as though her constituents are always happy with her. There are certain candidates that are repeat candidates, and the community is very happy with them. It looks as though Minutes, the community that goes for Killarney, they seem very, very happy with him, no matter what he does. They are very happy with him. My question is, what moves are you going to make to ensure that whether they are liking you for your personality or what you're doing for them personally, what exactly do you think that you can do to ensure that the community will definitely benefit from you being there? And once again, whether they like you or not, they don't have a choice but to say, you know what? It was good for us.
One of my cousins, and I'll give credit to Darrell Johnson. Darrell Johnson is a strategist sometimes, and he says some things, and I listen to him sometimes because he's a good man. When he speaks, there's logic. When you could be able to connect with your people and be there at a point and do intervals with them that you can address the issues and again find the priorities and how to make it happen, that's the key. Sometimes people just want to be able to feel you and touch you and you want to be there. And I must again, and then just simple things, it's knowing that they have a person who's going to be honest and open and fair to them and not bash others and not try to be discriminatory or because my view is peace. I've already seen so much war and chaos. So my view is to bring peace and harmony and to establish a Naughty Lucha that can be self-sufficient, that the next generation and the generation after can be pleased of. Growing up in Naughty Lucha showed me a lot of principles, a lot of values, and those are the values that I hold dear. So for me, I would be in those areas and look at how we strategically transform those areas into what you call a place of comfort for the people, a place where there's business, there's thriving, there's opportunities. Let's look at Spanish Grass Bluff, all those things where there are fishing industries and stuff that we can promote things that can be generated feasibly, whereby if we just have people who can advise them, who can teach them what they need to do. Let's look at the land stuff that can be just lawyers and legal advice so they can actually do it. It would bring a sense of commitment from them, a change of a mindset, and it would also give them a sense of pride. And that's the first thing I would do if I was actually given the opportunity on the first day. Thank them. Let's get to work.
Now you definitely, if you get you definitely will have some people that are disgruntled, and things don't always go according to plan. You might come in with a lot of visions. I have actually asked during the last campaign session I asked one of the politicians, one of the MPs or persons vying for candidacy. I asked them, by the time as you get the position, do you find that the PLP or the FNM, the DNA, COA, do you feel as though they are still acting as a party, or is it that you're there to fend for yourself as an MP? I was told you're basically there to fend for yourself as an MP, which means you're taking on the full responsibility of the success or the downfall of a specific community. How do you feel about that? Are you sure you are ready for that? And if things aren't going according to plan, or let's say, for example, the government isn't giving you as much support as the community might think you might have, what would be your next strategy?
That's why economic and social association is so vital for a community, especially Rhode Islands. That's why I gave you that illustration of the people becoming a part of themselves to have a pride. The association itself acts as the clans. From Harbor Island, we know the clans. The clans who established the foundation, the morals, the values. They were the ones that directed a lot of things on the island. And so when you have an association of economic and social association, is a vast difference because you now what you cannot tap with the government, you can now go to private factors and fractions and actually achieve it. And so it brings out a sense of balance, it brings out a sense of community worth, it brings out the sense of respect for each other, and it can transform all of these old islands into a different hemisphere.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to look at it again because the truth of the matter is the government itself has to borrow. The government has to do so many things. It's going to be it's not going to be feasible. But you have people that have invested interest. As long it's properly done, it can be done.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to look outside the box. We have to create things that would be better for us, especially for Northern Lutheran. We have the highest revenue. We have the greatest set of billionaires,
Mm-hmm.
right? We have everything that we need there. Why can't it be done? It's just a mindset, the ability to want to do it, and the capability to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Back in the day, they used to say forward, upward, onward, and together. I don't know the last time I've heard that. I don't know if that's something that we've thrown out of the window. Once again, forward, upward, onward, and together. Whether the government is all together or not, you specifically need to make sure that the community is together. You had spoken about empowerment. You had spoken about empowering the youth as well as the older generation. Basically, not discriminating against anybody. I do personally feel if you can get everyone's mindset to be on the same accord, you definitely have a win in that direction. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget you are definitely tuned into Global 99.5 FM. And if you have any questions, you want to join in with the conversation, all you got to do is give us a call, 326-0272. I got another question for you. And I think I asked this before. I don't know if you answered this straight up for me. With you vying for this position, obviously this is a lot of weight on your shoulders. How are you going to handle if things do not go according to plan? Or because most times I feel as though the politicians tend to hide. You don't see them when things aren't going good. Things are going great. It's Mother's Day. It's time to bring out the gifts for the community, whatever it is. You see them. But when things aren't going too good, they tend to hide out. Do you find that you might have that type of personality, whereas you're not good with handling situations like that? Or do you find that you are a tough person, you're able to own up to any mistakes that might have been made, and you're pretty straightforward and honest?
Straightforward and honest.
Okay.
I think sometimes being too straightforward is not always good, but that's my character. I would rather face the problems than run from the problems.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times I've been facing a lot of problems, and sometimes it's 10 and it's more than 5 problems at one time. But the key to being successful and resolving them is just look them in the face and deal with them.
Mm-hmm.
If you run, the problem will still be there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my view on it. That's how I tackle those views in terms of if I'm a member elected as a member of parliament, that's how I would tackle it. Face it. Let's look at a strategy plan. Let's look how it can be feasible. Because when you're about to do something that's going to require a lot of mental capacity and a lot of physical, you have to prepare your mind for it. You have to prepare for the seen, the unseen, the known, and the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
There are not everybody's going to like you. But as long as they respect your leadership and your abilities, then that's the most important thing that you can do.
I like how you said not everyone is going to like you. As you know, Bahamian people can be funny. They are funny people, or we are funny people, right? So what response have you been getting as you've been putting yourself out there as PLP? candidate vying for the position?
I love my home. I love home. The Bible says a prophet is without honor in his own hometown. But I've seen some great set of people, and they've been up to me. And I use somebody said that my ratings have went up after I came off the show, and so it's a lot. It's just getting people to see who you really are,
Mhm.
and making them understand that I'm not here to bash. I'm not here to fight down nobody. I'm here to preserve legacy, to help, and do what is necessary.
Mhm.
If, let's say, for example, I don't get the position of being a member of parliament, does it mean I go back into my little hole and stand it? No, I fight for my island because
Mhm.
it is home. It's all that I know. And when I'm ready to come home, when I'm there and I want to be able to come, I still see issues. I call and I address them. Because why? If you don't fight for it, which is your home, who else will?
Mhm.
And that's my view. To help my people, to help us get to the next level, to help the party as much as I can in any capacity I can, and to be able to make sure that the legacy that I leave a foundation that the next generation can understand. That's all I live to do. Once I've completed that, then I thank God for that opportunity.
Okay. Now, as we're nearing the end of our interview, my question is possibly my last question. In the past, because I know that you've been strong, I guess politically, you've been in that circle for a minute now. Um, what have you done in the past, if anything? What have you done in the past that has positively contributed to either directly North Eleuthera or just the Bahamas in general, any island?
What have I done that has possibly impacted um,
Just as a
any?
citizen, not someone that is vying for a position or whatever it is, but just as a citizen that just wants better for the community or better for your Bahamian people, better for the Bahamas in general. Has there been anything that you have done that you can say, hey, you know what? This is something that I've done without any power that has made me feel as though if I was to get the power, I can do even more. What good have you done so far? What examples have you set along those lines?
That's a good question. I do a lot of things, but I don't try to seek for publicity of it. I just do it because it needs to be done. Let's look at home. I agitate. I'm an activist for a lot of problems on the island that happens. But I've been always behind the scenes person to make sure. So whenever there's an issue, I go behind the scenes and say, hey, this needs to be addressed. That needs to be looked at. Let's see how we can do that. And that's what makes me feel good about myself, is that I don't have to be in the forefront to do it.
Mhm.
I can be behind the scenes and still pull the strings and say, hey, we need to look at this. We need to do that. And that's why I say visionary, because I'm used to that. I've done a lot of things to assist. I still believe in, let's look at Long Island. I have a project that I want to do for Long Island in terms of farming, spring water, and fishery that would generate wealth for there. And I always keep in touch with the people, even my people in North Eleuthera. I keep in touch with them to say, okay, let's look at how we can create things.
Mhm.
It's not always going to be easy, but you have to be regis in your mindset and be conscious in your mindset to say, hey, it needs to be done.
Mhm.
And that's what I do.
That is awesome. All right. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, PLP aspirant Oscar Mcphee for North Eleuthera. He's somebody that I am not a stranger to. I've been seeing Mr. Oscar Mcphee up and down and all around. He's always been doing great positive things, always looking for a way for him to elevate his life and the people around him. He's actually provided a few opportunities for me when I was a nobody, okay? I ain't somebody yet. I'm getting there, but he definitely helped pave the way for me. So I'm interested in seeing how your campaign is going to go. I'm interested in seeing if you do get the position, what good you're going to be doing for the community. All right. Those of you that are interested, if you want to reach out to Mr. Oscar Mcphee himself, can you let them know how they can reach out to you, donate to your campaign, donate to your cause, or give
You can
any
call
type of
me at
assistance?
465-0268. You can email me at oscarmcphee@gmail.com, or you can reach out. I guess Melody can reach out to you and see, and that you can get back to me as much as possible. But I just want to be able to make a difference and impact the Bahamas as much as I can.
We appreciate that. And we are hoping that you are successful in your endeavors. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned into Global 99.5 FM with the girl Melody in the midday, and of course, her also interesting guest for the day. Okay, we're going to cut it off and jump right back into the music that you love. Don't forget now, Mr. Oscar Mcphee, you are definitely invited back Okay, so along your journey, make sure you keep in check, check in with Global. Okay.
All right, I most definitely will, and thank you for this opportunity to come. And I also want to say a shout out to the people in North Eleuthera. I to Miss Lockhart, who lost a husband. He was a Sergeant Lockhart. It's so sad, And to those that to Victor Bassani too, who just had his funeral, and to Cameron Bannister, those who were who was just buried. Victor Bassani was a great person. He helped me when I started out my campaign, and I was so sorry I did not get a chance to come. And I was to Cameron's funeral, and Maida I did not get to, but there are so many great people that we lost along the way, that I just want to give a shout out to them and to thank them for even help being there for me, because Victor spoke life into me and a lot of things. So I'm grateful. And I just realized that one of my friends on Naughty Lucha, Agnes, died. So I just want to give a shout out to the family and send my condolences to all of them. And that's it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I know your schedule is extremely busy, but thank you for taking the time out to stop on by.
It is my pleasure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to jump right back into the music that you love. Terra Fabulous following up next. We got a lot of action coming our way as we are preparing for elections of next year. So make sure you keep it locked right here on Global 99.5 FM.